Hi guys, it's Gianna, and today I'm going to be telling you the story of my paranormal experience. So, it all started when I was 9, and, well, it kind of started before I was 9, but it occurred when I was 9. So basically, before I was 9, like a few years before, my granddad, my dad's dad, died from a heart attack, and basically, it was my dad's job. Well, I think it was my dad's job. I don't know if there were other people. But basically to sell his house and like get it on the market and get it looking all spiffy and stuff. So basically he went over there a lot to do little fixer-upper stuff because my dad's kind of like a handyman. He can do a lot of that stuff. So basically he went over there a lot to do that stuff, and occasionally my mom and I would go over there too. And basically, one time my dad was over there. We weren't with him during this time, but my dad was over there doing stuff, and then he was fixing stuff, and then he was getting mad about fixing stuff, and he was, I guess, like saying insults or yelling at my granddad, who wasn't there, but I guess he was. So basically, then after yelling a bunch, then the room started to smell like pee, and that's because my granddad was incontinent, which basically means like you pee your pants, I guess. So that happened, and then my dad told us, and no wait, then it happened again. He went back in, and then like some other time, it wasn't the same day, and then he started yelling again, getting all hyped up about stuff, and then it started to smell again, and then my dad told us, and then we were watching like Ghost Hunters at the time. I don't know if any of you have heard of that show, but it's like a Ghost Hunter show. Title's pretty self-explanatory. So basically we were like, hey, actually smell is like a way that some ghosts like make themselves known or manifest themselves. So then basically, then we were like, hey, we should call the ghost trackers and see if we can like find out more about this. So we called our local ghost trackers. I'm sure every state or area has one because pretty popular people. Pretty awesome too. So basically, then we scheduled a night for them to come over to the house. Not our house, obviously. Granddad's house. And then basically they came over, and it was like around dusk, and they just started setting up some stuff around the house. And basically then they started in the kitchen where he died. And then they were asking questions, like with their little recording-y device-y thingies. I forgot what they're called, like EMF, EFE, EPV, I don't know. So, well, it's one of those. So basically, then they started recording with that stuff. And then basically, it made it where you couldn't hear it, like, in your ear or whatever. But when they put it on their special computers and stuff, then they could hear it, like, it could get translated from the spirit world to the regular world, I guess. So there was that, and they were asking him questions about stuff he would only know the answers to. And then there was this like little light that could show like how strong the spirit was, or like how strong reactions they were giving, and stuff like that. And I wasn't around for this part. Like I was, this whole thing lasted like 6 hours, so I was upstairs in a bedroom with my mom, and we were going over my spell bowl list. It's like a long list of spelling words for a thing I was in school. So yeah, we were doing that, and that was happening downstairs. And then later, we all came downstairs, and we were all in the living room just like sitting around in like a non-official circle, and there was this little, we were just like sitting around waiting a while, being quiet, because in case he said anything, we didn't want to be like on the tape saying anything else. So basically, then okay, so then in the living room, they basically did what they did in the kitchen, asking questions, but they asked other questions. And they asked stuff about, like, his ex-wife. He got all, I guess, strong reaction about that. And then the dogs, they asked him about his dogs, and he had a strong reaction about that. Got all excited about that because he just loved dogs. So then basically it was dark at this point. I don't know what time it was, but it was dark. And basically what happened was we were just in a circle in the living room, and basically it was like dim in the room, like no really lights were on, but like you could adjust your eyes to see stuff. So it was easy to see stuff, I guess you could say. Like, you know how your eyes kind of adjust stuff in the dark once, like, they're adjusted? So it was that. And then we were sitting there for a while. It was all quiet. And, like, some of the people were just, like, staring into space, doing whatever stuff they were doing, picking their nails, daydreaming, whatever. And then some of the people were lucky enough to see that from, like, across the room, this, like, grapefruit-sized, like, whitish, yellowish orb came towards my direction, and then it kind of like disappeared once it was like kind of by me or past me or whatever, and it just like disappeared. But then it's like well, I saw it, but it's like I was worried that if I said something that like it would maybe make it go away, and it's like it either wouldn't come back or it would just like go early or whatever. But yeah, and then it turns out like 3 of the ghost tracker people saw it, and then my mom and me did. So that's pretty cool. And it was like basically like 3 weeks later we got a CD of some of the stuff that he said, and some of the stuff like on the tapes, basically the stuff that all the information or whatever, or not information, but like all the things they got from it or whatever. So we got that, and then I think eventually when they sold the house, that I guess he went away. So basically, I hope he doesn't haunt that house, because we never followed up with the owners on that one, actually. Anyway, so basically, that was the story of my paranormal experience. So it was pretty cool, but kind of scary, but not scary because it's not like it was a demon or anything. So, yeah. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Look at my dog. Thanks for watching the Giana Show. Every breath you take, every move you make, everybody